Good morning, brothers and sisters in the Dhamma. Welcome to BF Sunday service. We will start with the puja straight away. Preliminary homage to the Buddha. Let us pay homage to the Buddha. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Let's start our offering. Please put your palms together to partake in the offerings. The offerings of the 5 items allows us to express our gratitude to the Buddha and serves as a symbol to help us remember the teachings. Offering of light. Light symbolizes wisdom. May the light of Dhamma dispel the darkness of ignorance. Offering of incense. Incense symbolizes the fragrance of pure moral conduct. This reminds us to cultivate good conduct. Offering of water. Water symbolizes purity, clarity, and calmness. It reminds us to practice the Buddha's teachings to cleanse one's mind, which is full of desires, ill will, and delusion, to attain the state of purity. Offering of fruits. Fruits symbolize the ultimate fruit of enlightenment, which is our goal. They also remind us that all actions will have their effects. Offering of flowers. Flowers symbolize impermanence. The freshness, fragrance, and beauty of flowers are impermanent. This reminds us that we should all live in the present. Remembering thus, we should reduce our craving and attachment. Salutation to the Triple Gem. Let us pay respects to the Triple Gem. Arahang Samma Sambuddho Bhagava Buddhang Bhagavantang Abhivademi. Swakato Bhagavata Dhammo Dhammang Namasami. Supatipanno Bhagavato Sāvaka Sangho Sanghang Namami. Going for refuge, we chant these verses for taking the 3 refuges. Buddhang Saranang Gacchami, Dhammang Saranang Gacchami, Sanghang Saranang Gacchami, Dutiyampi Buddhang Saranang Gacchami, Dutiyampi Dhammang Saranang Gacchami, Dutiyampi Sanghang Saranang Gacchami, Tatiyampi Buddhang Saranang Gacchami, Tatiyampi Dhammang Saranang Gacchami, Tatiyampi Sanghang Saranang Gacchami. The 5 precepts, we chant these verses to observe the 5 precepts. Panatipata Veramani Sikkhapadang Samadhiyami. Adinadana Veramani Sikkhapadang Samadhiyami. Kame Sumichachara Veramani Sikkhapadang Samadhiyami. Musavada Viramani Sikkhapadang Samadhiyami Suramiraya Majapamadatana Viramani Sikkhapadang Samadhiyami. Recollection of the Buddha. Let us recollect the sublime qualities of the Buddha. Itipiso bhagava arahang samma sambuddho vijjacharana sampano sugato lokavidu anuttaro purisa dhammasarati satta deva manusanang Buddho Bhagavati. Recollection of the Dhamma. Let us recollect the sublime qualities of the Dhamma. Swakato Bhagavata Dhammo Sanditiko Akaliko Ehipassiko Opanaiko Pachatang Veditabo Vinyuhiti. Recollection of the Sangha. Let us recollect the sublime qualities of the Sangha. Supatipano Bhagavato Sāvaka Sangho Ujjupatipano Bhagavato Sāvaka Sangho Nyaya Patipano Bhagavato Sāvaka Sangho Samici Patipano Bhagavato Sāvaka Sangho Yadidang Chattari Purisa Yugani Atta Purisa Pugala Esa Bhagavato Sāvaka Sangho Ahuneyo Pahuneyo Dakineyo Anjali Karaniyo Anuttarang Punyaketang Lokasati. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Next, we have some announcements. Okay, help build our Dhamma home. Please go to bfdhammahome.org to see our website. Thank you. For October, we start with Bhante Sumana, who will be talking about the Arhan's banner. This talk will be pre-recorded, so those of you who are staying at home can see at 10:30. We will start at 10:30 service. Year-end retreat is out for 24th to 29 December. Stillness in Turbulent Times by Ajahn Brahm and Ajahn Brahmali. There's a stay-in option, as well as conference, as well as a free Zoom retreat. Do sign up at Eventbrite. Bodhiana is also having a jhana growth retreat. Please don't mix up these two retreats. One is in December, and this one is in November, 12th to 21st November, to coincide with the jhana growth retreat in Perth. So do sign up at Eventbrite for the jhana growth retreat as well. Share your favorite sutta. You can donate any amount and suggest your favorite sutta, and one of the excos will read the sutta and put it out on YouTube. Dhamma Foundation course, we have already started. It's every Saturday, 2 to 5 p.m. We have done the history component, and we'll be starting the Dhamma we started the Dhamma component yesterday. Do join if you are still interested. Oh yes, if you have missed the earlier versions, we have taped it on the YouTube, and we will provide you with the link to follow. YouTube as well as the slides will be on our drive. So don't worry if you have missed the classes, the first few classes, you can still join us by looking through the YouTube. Junior youth, please read the poster. They have their no lessons for the first 2 weeks. Rahula Connects, please look at the poster. It's on alternate weeks for the lower primary and the upper primary school. All via Zoom. Yin Yoga at BF East is on site. Please register if you're interested at BF East, 7:30 to 8:45 every Tuesday. There's another Yin Yoga by Deepa D'Souza, who is in England. It's only via Zoom every Thursday, 7:30 p.m. and 8:45. Please register at the teacher. Please look at the poster. Happy Workout is also starting for the 4th quarter. Please look at the poster and register. Okay, today we have Sister Sylvia Bay with us again to talk about what is Buddhist practice. As most of you know Sister Sylvia Bay by now, I won't go through her bio. Sister Sylvia, over to you. Yeah, we'll start with a 10-minute guided quiet time.
Well said. Okay, can we turn off the lights? I invite everyone to breathe in deep. Just breathe in deep. And then when you breathe out, do it slowly. Breathe in deep. Then breathe out slowly. Do a third time. Breathe in deep as you can. Then when you breathe out, slowly. Scan your body. Make sure that you are comfortable, somewhat upright. I don't need you to be ramrod straight, but you try and find a comfortable spot upright. You must first be comfortable with the body. Be comfortable. So as your mind travel down this body, as it travel down the body, think of yourself as doing a little paint brushing. You take a brush and you slowly paint your body. We do it slowly. You must be comfortable with the body. Make sure that as you paint, as you're painting, slowly go through your face, across your face, your little ear holes. Scan, paint, just go through, down the face, down the neck, down the body, slowly. No hurry. Don't miss out the back. You're painting this body. Painting, and slowly you paint down the torso. Continue painting. What I'm doing is to guide you through mindfulness of the body. In your own spare time, you can do the mindfulness of the body. You scan or you paint across the body. Be very familiar with this body. As your mind becomes clear, at one with the body, your mind is settling. So slowly just paint, mindful of the body, painting away. For many of you, you might have finished painting this body up and down. So now I want you to take one step back and look at the painted body. The body that you have spent the past few minutes painting. You look at this body. Take a step back, look at the body. As I look at the body, you may notice that this body is breathing. The body is breathing. You don't have to force it. You just have to accept it. The body breathes on its own. No need to do anything. Nothing to force. Body breathes on its own, by itself. And as you look at this body breathing, tell yourself, you are fortunate, your body is healthy, and now here before the Buddha, you are also learning to take care of the mind. This is a fortunate life. And as you breathe in, rejoice in your blessing. As you breathe out, wish the world well. May all the world be well and happy. Here and now, before the Buddha, this is purifying of the mind. As you breathe in, rejoice in your own blessing. For indeed, my life is blessed. As you breathe out, wish the world well. May all beings, whether they are in suffering or not, may they all be well. If you are feeling light-hearted and joyous, you are experiencing metta. Please extend your metta to all beings in the world. In front, behind, above, below. Extend metta to all beings in the world. When you are finished, take 3 deep breaths again, and slowly you may open the eyes. How many of you are doing meditation for the first time today? Most of you have done it before? Everyone has done it before? How was your session? It's good? Everyone felt this way? Okay, let me explain before we start the talk. Let me just explain what I did today with you. Many people think that meditation is just doing one thing and then your mind just settled there and then that's it. 1 hour later, you got up, enlightened. All of us who have done meditation, and especially if we do it regularly, you'll know that's not true. Most of us cannot do it right. 5 minutes into the sitting and the mind starts to go gallivanting for most of us. Some of us on a good day manage to hold it for longer, but in most times it's very hard. Do you know how long you sat today? 10 minutes. 10 minutes. It's 11 o'clock. And did your mind wander? Most of you? Did your mind wander? Did? How many of you say my mind wandered and wandered far? How many said my mind wandered and wandered all over the place? Meaning, even as I talk, you also gallivanting at the same time. How many of you managed to settle, kind of settle? How many of you felt good? Felt good? Okay. If you feel good, actually means your mind is settling down. This is how you tell. When your mind is starting to settle down, instead of running around, as it starts to settle down, you will feel good. So what I did with you was to introduce you to a few things. Number one is to help you, use your body to hold the attention. Number two, you can talk, but it must be leashed. You must know what you are saying. So I was trying to help you bring up joy. So if joy arises and you are focused, your mindfulness is with the body, and joy arises, you're on track. On your own, you can start to move, holding the mind holding the attentiveness to the body. Okay? So that was a little short exercise on calming the mind. Eileen would know, most times I don't do it this carefully. Most times it's just words and happy, and then, okay, let's start. But today I thought, it's okay lah. We can do a bit. Because COVID time, everyone needs to know how to quiet the mind and still it a little bit so that we don't overreact, okay? Some of you are still happily meditating, which is a good thing. Okay, this is the topic today. What is Buddhist practice? I wanted this topic because I know very often we will say things like, we must practice the Dhamma practice. And Buddhist practice, Dhamma practice, the idea here is there is some practicing going on. And I want us all to be clear, what does it mean by practice? Okay? And what are we practicing? What are we practicing? Why do we need to practice? Normally, the second slide is like a summary of the talk. Today, there is no summary. We go straight into the talk because the number of slides is very small. It's only 13 slides minus intro, minus gratitude, minus 9 slides. 9 slides, no need intro lah. We just go straight to the point. Okay. The first slide is the most boring of them all. We must, in our mind, be very clear of the two words here. Buddhist and practice, okay? When we say practice, no, don't look at my words, just think about it. Take one step back, go into your mind, and you ask yourself, what is practice? I'm offering a thought here, but you must know. Practice always implies that you're trying to achieve something, and I say underpinning assumption means we have a certain assumption, practice is good, right? I mean, otherwise, why do you do it? You must want to achieve something, and you must assume that that practice is a good thing. You want it. Now, when we use practice, we also assume that it is not easy. I mean, if it was so easy, why do you need to practice? If you want to be a really good sport player, tennis, golf, whatever, you have to practice. If you want to learn music for the first time, whatever that you're playing, the instrument, you're not familiar. So that the assumption here, you're not familiar. You don't really know it very well, but you want to learn the skill. It is a skill, meaning it will require understanding. It will require you to know the steps. And you assume that if you do the steps properly, you will be good at it. It's a fair assumption, right? So it's somewhat difficult. It is not instinctive. Therefore, you must go through the motion, the steps again and again. Right? So that's the kind of assumption. What else can you say? What else can we say about practice? Is Jenny looking at the online comments? No comments. What else can we say about practice? Huh? Exactly. It will take time. Your skill gets built up gradually. You must therefore be patient. Must be patient. Must be kind to yourself. Take it in your stride. Enjoy the journey. Okay, I want to stress all these words. They are not there. So every time you think about what am I doing, what am I practicing, you remember for yourself, this is a practice. It will take time. It will take effort. It is gradual. You have to be disciplined. Oh, actually, that's my next slide. It will require you to have confidence. Saddha. Why? You must believe that it will work. If you don't believe that it will work, what are you doing? That's why for the Buddhists, saddha is important. Faith, confidence, conviction. That is why they are important. If you don't believe that the Dhamma will work, what are you doing? You're going to make sacrifices. Practice always requires sacrifices. You want to be a good pianist, you have to expend the time. You want to be a good martial art exponent, you have to whack the wood. Pop, 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 ayo, pop, 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 get inflammation and all. You have to do it. So all practices require sacrifices. That is why the Buddha, in some of his teaching, in some of his sutta, talks about sacrifices. For sure. Why does it require sacrifice? I thought we are gaining something. Yes, you are gaining something. But no pain, no gain. Okay? It requires knowledge. You must know what you are doing, why you are doing it. Must. That is why, for the practice, there's always this. What is the fourth noble truth? The noble eightfold path. What does it start with? Right understanding. That's the knowledge part. Right understanding, right view, right perspective. The word in Pali is ditti. Ditti means view, perspective. I'm using different English words, not because they are thesaurus, but because every word carries its own baggage of ideas. There isn't one English word that fully equals the Pali word, captures the Pali word. So these various words will give you a flavor, a sense of what that Pali word means. Samaditi, right understanding, right view, right perspective, right attitude. So you understand, huh? It's actually a very powerful word. Very, very powerful, which when you attend DFC, I will explain further. Incentive. Okay, now, Buddhists, because it is a methodology of training taught by the Buddha. It is unique. It is unique. The practice prescribed by the Buddha is unique to his school. Why unique? It carries an understanding, a perspective about the nature of the mind, the nature of the world. It carries a perspective, and given this perspective, here is what you must do. And you must do it right. So remember that. Huh? So, then when you put the two words together, and you ask yourself, what is Buddhist practice? So here we pause a little bit while I engage you in a conversation. What do you all think is Buddhist practice? Of course, there is a right answer. But I do believe that many of you instinctively know. So I invite all of you to take out your handphone. Take out your handphone. After all, it's there, ma.
Somebody said we have to walk the path ourselves and experience it.
Very good. Yeah, but don't repeat. Don't say the answer first. Others must write. Very good, very good. Don't tell the answers. Online viewers, I invite you all to comment on this. What is Buddhist practice? Now, I want you to write your answer in your handphone. Okay? Right lah, don't be shy lah. Right. I know that for the ones carrying an iPhone, you have got a feature called Notes. Don't tell me cannot write. Therefore, the ones carrying Android, I don't know what you have. What do you think is Buddhist practice? Okay, like, who wrote what? Let's guess. Eileen, you got or not? You got right or not?
No, somebody wrote here a few.
Oh, wow, a few. One, well done. You?
Two. Oh, for me, it's what the Buddha says.
Okay, his
Avoid
guidance.
evil, do good, and purify the mind.
Okay.
All encompassing.
Okay. Who agrees with Eileen? Who say got more? Got more. Who say got more? You know why I use you? Because more. I know you'll get the right answer. Online, what did they say?
We have to follow the Noble Eightfold Path.
Very good.
Ourselves and experience it.
Well done. What else?
And then Sis Jenny says to reduce greed, hatred, and delusion.
Wow, right.
And reduce suffering.
Very good. Yes. You see, all these would have been right answers. Yeah. What else?
And Sis Shushen said practice dana, sila, bhavana by practicing the Noble Eightfold Path.
You know, I listening to your answer, I get goosebumps. Well done. What else?
Somebody say cultivation of the mind.
对了. Very good. So everybody knows what is Buddhist practice. Got do or not? Know how to do or not? Huh? Okay. See the answer. Avoid evil, do good, purify mind. It is also the Eightfold Path. It is also eradication of Lobha, Dosa, Moha, all of the above. But I chose this line. I chose this one because it gives a framework of practice. Avoid evil has a list of things that you must do. Do good has another list of things that you must do. And finally, purify mind. Okay? My next question is, why must we practice? Shouldn't it come naturally? Remember what I said earlier? Practice means it's not instinctive. You have to work hard. So my question is, why must we practice? You can say because it doesn't come instinctively. What doesn't come instinctively? What? Doing all of the above, because the regular mind, and all of us carry a regular mind. Our mind, unfortunately, leans towards the akusala. Unwholesome, unskillful. Our mind does not always lean towards kusala. Yesterday, we had a class, a DFC class, and I invited the students to share with the class what motivates the regular mind, the regular man. And all kinds of answers pops up. And they're all right. The regular man is driven by a desire for success, to acquire. I sum up for you, to acquire, to have all the goods of the world and none of its bad. The 8 vicissitudes of life, happiness and pain. I only want happiness, not pain. Gain and losses. I only want gain. I don't want losses. Praise and blame. I only want to be praised. Don't you dare blame me. Fame and infamy. I want fame. I want to sound good, look good. I want people to talk well of me. I don't want the opposite. That kind of sums up the instincts of man. So we all lean towards one side. And we are all very worried. We're all very self-absorbed and very worried that that side that we want, we don't get. It's very natural. No matter how nice, how good you are, there is one part in our brain that is super sentinel, like a gut man, the gut is always guarding our interests, guarding our time, guarding our effort, guarding our money, is always looking after us. We are always looking out for number one. It's very instinctive. But the world has a lot of number ones. When the number ones all come together, what happens? Clashes, for sure. So our mind very instinctive. Resources are finite. I always say, resources are all finite. And something for me means less for you. But there's so many of number ones all over the place, so invariably there will be clashes. Invariably. Someone wants to construct his house, another wants to sleep. Like that, Sure, shupari, fight. Okay? So this is not something new. I just need you all to not blame yourself, but to recognize our own weaknesses. Okay? If you don't admit this, how do you do the rest? Because the steps require you to first have clarity about yourself. So you must all be very clear. We have our weaknesses, and we want to fix those. So when we talk about Buddhist practice, it's really about fixing our weaknesses, our limitations, and make us better people. So, avoid evil. Now, I know all of you, see, look at my motif, so nice, right? Fire burning. Chosen deliberately, okay? Okay. The key element about avoiding evil, the driving force in our mind is that we have these instincts to be self-serving and selfish. This is our instinct. So if you find yourself being very careful, very suspicious, very cynical, I repeat, when you're cynical, you're suspicious, you have thoughts that are negative, all these means that your self-preservation instincts are very strong. Very strong. So you're not selfish, you are selfish. Okay? It merely means that. And this is very instinctive. All this very instinctive. So, how to avoid evil? In Buddha's time, he always told the lay people, minimally observe 5 restraints. Minimally. You fall below these 5 restraints, you're not avoiding evil. And these 5 restraints, I know you all know, because this morning we all happily recited, right? Okay, what are they? The Pali word is, do not take the life of those breathing. Okay, do not take life of those breathing. Panatipata. I want to stress this. Who, in a natural state, happily takes life? Most of us don't anyway. So we're very happy, we sit back, we say, no problem. This one we don't do. I call pest control. Most of us say that. But I will also say this. This thing about not taking life, right? But we scold, right? We don't take the life, we scold. We don't treat life kindly sometimes. So the key element here in this one is don't be cruel. To the worst level is you took a life and you took it gleefully. So the shades are even worse. But the key element is actually don't be cruel. Don't inflict on another what you don't want another to inflict onto you. So that's the point here, okay? The second one, I'm being very careful. You don't see me say don't steal. I say don't take things not given, because that's how the precept was written. Adina, dana. So adina is not given. Don't take what's not given. Adina dana actually means that. So, what does that mean? 不要占小便宜啊. Don't take advantage in even the smallest thing. So, if your office didn't give you stationery to take home, don't take. That is adina dana. In the old days, I like to use this example in the old days. In the old days, we had this problem, right? Parking coupons. Always we take 5 minutes, 10 minutes, right? And some people are like, 15 minutes. Why 15 minutes? Because, the government give me extra 15 minutes. I was like, government give you one meh? Or you can't assume. That in itself is adina dana. So I don't know how many Buddhists are happily adina danaing away on the parking coupon. And the key element of this clause, the key element is manage your greed. Manage your greed. So the first one is don't be cruel. The second one is manage your greed. Don't be too greedy. Greed is a given. We all have some degree of wanting. So as long as you have wanting, that's greed. As long as you have it, it's greed. It's not a good thing or bad thing. Don't always, that means no good, right? Don't always do that to yourself. It is a natural state. It's a natural state. But what we are saying is the natural state of greed creates more harm than good. It will give us more pain than joy. So we learn to recognize that. Actually, that's what it means. So manage your greed, okay? The third one, don't engage in sexual misconduct. Do not force your lust on another. Sometimes, and this happened very often in the Buddha's time, sometimes people find loopholes. Buddha said cannot engage in sexual misconduct. Then if I do it like that, can. It doesn't break the precept. So we become obsessed about the loopholes in the precepts. The precepts are very clear. It's about your mental motivations. If your mind wants something, if your mind wants to do something, and in order not to break the precept, I will siam a bit, do it a little bit different. Then I don't break the precept. That makes you more greedy, you know. That means that your mind is not only seeking to break precept, being creative about loopholes. What the Buddha is prosecutor of ancient time, is it? 跟你讨价还价. Seeking discount from the Buddha. It doesn't work like that. It's all in your mind. Okay? This is the one. Don't speak untruths. This is the one where people get really creative. We are not seeking untruth. It is white lies, can or not? You did use the word lies. You tell me can or not, Lord. Now, when I finish the last one, I'll explain why these are so important. And finally, don't indulge in intoxicants. Indulge in intoxicants. Let me explain why they are so problematic. Life actually is a reflection of your kindness or not, your charity or not, your level of empathy, the degree of empathy that you have, okay? And on this greed, is how much you are able to let go. How much are you able to be content? If you're content enough, you won't take. If there is a part in you that I want, you will take. Same thing goes for sexual misconduct. It's about how much you respect another person. You don't respect the person, you do whatever you want. The notion of truth is how much in you respect truth. How much in you are an upright, honest, sincere person. It's a reflection of that. If you're upright, honest, sincere, then even saying something that you know has deviated from absolute truth, you feel very bad. You will feel this sense of guilt, this uncomfortable sensation. If you are so good at finding loopholes, then what will happen is you begin to bluff your own mind. After a while, your mind can't differentiate between what's honest, goodness, truth, and what's fudged reality. Your mind cannot tell the difference. For those who are seeking to practice, walking this path, hoping to become the enlightened person that the Buddha has described, or the canon has described, then fudging the truth is the worst that you can do to your mind. Because the effects are not just this life. The effects can linger. Okay? Then this thing about intoxicants. Intoxicants means you are trading clarity, You're trading clarity for momentary pleasure. So there is a part in you that says, okay, my mind can be fuzzy, it's all right. I would indulge first. Okay? So these are your baseline. All of them, except for the last one, all four of them had to do with your relationship with another. So for those of you who have attended, who is familiar with the Dharma teaching and all, you must know Buddha always say, we do good, we do it right for ourselves and for others. So the first four has all to do with relationship. You notice that? It's all relationship. For yourself and for others. The fifth one is really for yourself, in the manner that you conduct yourself. And then downstream, the impact on others. Whereas the other four, you don't speak untruth, all right, unless it's to another person. It's only when you're always indulging in untruth that at some point, your mind also cannot differentiate. Now you lie to yourself. I'm a good man. You lie to yourself. Okay? Okay. That was baseline, huh? Now we're talking about intermediate. Intermediate means there are more. More. You want to go high end? Avoid evil to the logical extreme, you must do this. So this first part is the same. 3 actions pertaining to an act, a deed. But this one is hard. The third one will be the hardest. This one is hard because lying is straightforward. But you say, I don't do slander. Yes, you do. You gossip. I can almost guarantee that we all sit together and we happily chit-chat, talk. And as long as you're talking about another in a negative light, this is slander. As long as you are talking of another, and your words, you say, I don't mean to deliberately divide people. But in the manner that you talk about another, if you cast that person in a negative light, then what are you doing? You're actually affecting another's mind. So, let's see. You and I are good friends. Okay, you and I are good friends. Or rather, no, we all know each other for the first time. But I kind of like you. Okay, I kind of like you. Then someone came along, this person is your friend, comes along and start talking. This person very difficult one. I tell you, meeting always come late one. Very irresponsible. I'm recording, right? I'm recording. So even though I like you, but I know you are irresponsible, you always come late, you very jialat one. A likable person, a friendly, easy, but I will get very tired managing you. So I heard of this from another person. So in this simple way, you're corrupting my mind. Therefore, actually, the slender one is the one that actually happens very often. When people come together and they gossip about another, this is what's happening. I like to tell people this. When you gossip gossip good things, one meh? I tell you, okay, she very nice one. He always buy things for people. You got gossip like that one meh? This is almost like Straits Time reporting. Today nothing happens. We are all very good. We are feeling the best in the world. Who reads that kind of news? So unfortunately, the best kind of gossip happens to be the scandalous type. That's why the Chinese expression, all the 丑闻 run all over the place, right? There's a Chinese, any of you speak Mandarin here? The one that about scandal. The good things never get out of the door, but the scandal will travel far and wide. Yeah, like that lah. Because it's all a good conversation. Harsh words. Harsh words, it's not harsh tone. You can say the nicest things, the nastiest things in the sweetest tone. Do you understand? Harsh word implies that the motivation behind those words is to hurt. It's an expression of your anger. So, when we talk, what does this mean, right? When we talk, we should be very clear. We should learn not to stain another's mind. We should learn not to speak with anger. And the last one, frivolous, we should learn not to speak delighting in words. Frivolity, right? It's very cute. Frivolous meaning the words, there is nothing gained in the conversation other than trivial delight. Trivial delight. So we sit together and we chit-chat about a movie we saw. That's trivial delight. Do you understand? Or we chit-chat about perhaps the shopping that we did, the politics of the day. We chit-chat about the politics of the day. All those are trivial delights. It gives you cheap thrill. It tickles your pleasure. But nobody gained anything wise or deep from that. Now, you look at your own words. What we say, how we talk. Wouldn't you say that on a single day, there is a very high chance that we'll fall into these 4 categories? One, maybe not one, because we're very good Buddhists, for the precept, 4 precept, no lying. So maybe not the first one. But slander, harsh speech, frivolity always happens. Okay? And the last 3, based on thoughts, they are the hardest. They are the hardest simply because we very instinctively, our mind will gear in that general direction. The mind will just gear. So, covetousness, what does that mean? It means there is a part in us that is always out looking for something we want. To covet, you may say, oh, but covet is coveting another person's things, ma. It also means, yes, it is true, but it also means that there is in your mind a desire to own something, I want something. And it creates all kinds of problems because we covet, it also implies, if it's another person's thing, it implies jealousy. It implies resentment. Why he have, I don't have? Why you give it to him, didn't give me? There is a sense of always comparing yourself with another. It also implies a certain sense of entitlement. We feel very entitled. You should do this to me. You should do this for me. So this coveting is tricky. It tells you that your mind, there is a part in our mind, there is a part in our mind that's always comparing the rest of the world. And there's a lot of desire sitting there. Okay? Ill will. Any form in our mind. How do you know that it's there? Because there is a sense of unpleasantness. The feeling is unpleasant. There is a sense of it. So I tell you, next time when you look at the feeling of, there's an unpleasant feeling arises. When an unpleasant feeling arises, you know an akusala is present. You don't have to think too hard. You feel bosong. I'm using a Hokkien word, bosong. You don't feel good. There is a very subtle sense of not feeling good. you know immediately there is an akusala, there is an unskillful state in the mind. It's an unskillful state. And this unskillful state, for sure, needs to be tackled. Because you let it fester there, you let this unskillful state fester in your mind, eventually it becomes a semi-permanent squatter. All unpleasant mental state, you must chop, chop. Chop, chop. Don't think. Stop thinking. Chop it. Don't indulge in ruminating. Some people say, I'm supposed to watch. If you're very skillful watching, and when you watch, it should fade. If you watch, it doesn't fade, you're not skillful enough. Your mindfulness is not sharp. So don't watch it if your mindfulness is not sharp. Let it go. Okay? How to let it go? The next two parts will tell you. This part is, don't let these guys come in. Okay? Wrong view. There are little parts here. Basically, a wrong view is something that will cause you harm. In the long run, in the longer run, I stress, wrong view, miccha ditti, as opposed to samaditi. Samaditi, right view, right thought, right attitude, right perspective, right understanding. Miccha, wrong view. Wrong is miccha ditti. It's the opposite of what's right. So if, for instance, you feel no consequences, it's okay, I scold once, it's okay. You scold once also, you drop a stain in the mind, unfortunately. So you say, I scold once, nothing will happen. I don't do it often, it's okay. No, it's not okay. Everything, think of it, it's very simplistic, but think of it like that. You go draw 10 cents from your account. Let's say you have $100, you just draw 10 cents. You every day draw 10 cents. It's okay, it's only 10 cents. Don't worry. 10 cents boleh liao. You know what I'm saying? Don't tell me I draw 10 cents. 10 cents boleh liao means 10 cents cannot finish, is it? Your account of $100, every day draw 10 cents, every moment draw 10 cents. It doesn't end, is it? Actually, now that I'm talking about this, you may want to do this to yourself. You get a little cup, get a little container, and you put $100 inside. Every time you make a mistake, you take $1 out. Every time you break a precept, you take $1 out. Every time you do something right, you take $1 out. You see how fast you run down on your credit. Then you say, hey, do I put something back in if I'm doing good? Can you can put it back in. Then you see for yourself, visual depiction of whether you are a better person, in which case you should need new jars every day, or you die. Die because your reserve is running low. This is a mental depiction of what's going on, okay? Don't start from zero. If you start from zero, then you didn't add. So all you're telling yourself is, I have not improved. You start with 100, you can, or 100 or 50 or whatever. You start with something, you can see it going down. This is what you want, to see progress or not, or worse, degeneration, okay? Ultimately, someone said, taming of lobha, dosa, moha, yes. Avoiding evil ultimately is about taming. Taming greed, anger, and delusion. Taming. Not eradicating. Why not eradicating? You avoid evil, you eradicate. It's not enough. Avoiding evil does not lead to eradication of lobha, dosa, moha. You need to build the good ones, the good stuff. That's why the Buddha said, do good and purify mind. It must be action. Avoid means, I like this word, avoiding. It means the natural instincts are there. You're not feeding it. Do you see that? Avoid means it's there. You have it in you. You have it, we all have it in us to be evil. You say, oh no, we're not evil. Okay, to be bad. To be akusala. We have it in us. We must not give in to the instincts. That's what it means. Then you look at what he said next. Do good. Be proactive. Now, you will see here, doing good, purifying mind as a singular, like they come together. When you're doing good, it works towards purifying mind. Okay? But purifying mind also has a separate set. This is what I want to point out. So as you are doing good, the effort, doing the right thing, is helping you to purify. You want to eradicate lobha, dosa, moha, you have to purify the mind. Only a mind that's purified has no lobha, dosa, moha. That is why I said you're only taming lobha, dosa, moha when you're avoiding evil. Okay? Now we do good. Doing good is the opposite of the precepts. Instead of taking life, you value, you respect, you nurture, you preserve life. How many of us are doing that? And it is life around you. How often do you help loved ones, friends, fellow human beings? How often do you help? How often do we support and nurture? Or instead, are we saying things and doing things that cause more damage to life? So I said earlier, taking life is the least of your problem because most of us don't take life. At most, we go supermarket, buy food. But the challenge for us is the people around us, your kids, your loved ones who stay with you. How much of you had been valuing, respecting, nurturing, nourishing them? This one only you can answer. So instead of taking, we give and we share. Instead of indulging in sexual misconduct, sexual matters, we act with restraint and moderation, and we are considerate and responsible in relationship. Instead of lying, we must be upright, sincere, and honorable. You see, I'm going to focus on number 4 because words are cheap. It's very easy. If you are honest and good person, honorable person, right? You won't have this issue about white lie, red lie, purple and blue. You won't have this. Because in your mind it's very clear. You either don't say it, because if you say it, it's going to be a lie, for whatever reason. Don't say it. It's very hard. Yes, it is very hard. So we should not take the easy way out. You want practice, ma? Practice means knowing what you should do and don't take the easy way out. Okay? And instead of indulging in intoxicants, we cultivate a mind that is present. That is why we talk about mindfulness training. Cultivating a steady mind, a mind that is present and balanced. This number 5 is hard. It's very hard. So doing good ain't that easy, right? Got some more? Look at that, huh? Someone talk about dana, sila, bhavana. That's why I say it's correct. Because sometimes when the Buddha was teaching the people of the day, he changed it around and he said it like this. This is from Anguttara Nikaya 8.35, Grounds for Making Merit. And he said that the individual must do these, dana, sila, bhavana, to the highest degree. Dana is giving. It's about giving. And it's a gift. So sometimes people see it as synonymous with generosity. Synonymous. It is not synonymous. You can be doing dana with no generosity in the heart. Right? I give you a gift. Worse, give the gifts that you don't want. You bring all your old clothes and give it away. It is dana. It is dana. But you know I don't want them anymore. Well, it's not so bad. Recycle is a good thing. The ones that are problematic is expired food. Ayah, spoil already. But don't waste lah. Give to someone. That one I give it to you. I really give it to you. This is not dana. When you dana, the ultimate kind of dana is you dana something that people want. And generosity is, I want, you want, but I let you have it. Can you see the difference? I repeat, dana is, I give you something you want. That's also generosity. But real generosity is, I want and you want, but you know what, you have it. So you let go of something you want. So generosity is actually at a higher level, okay? So no question asking me what's the difference between dana and saga, okay? Sila is morality. Bhavana is cultivation of the mind. So doing good, purifying mind comes under bhavana. Doing good, purifying mind. Buddha, solid. One word captures everything. So it is correct when you say dana, sila, bhavana. Yes, virtue, giving, and cultivation of mind. It is indeed the practice. Got some more. In another sutta, 8.54, called Vyagapadja Sutta, I mentioned this in class yesterday, faith, saddha. Sila, again, morality, generosity, and wisdom. Cultivation of these four mental states is about purifying mind, doing good and purifying mind. Okay? I will repeat on this point. Why is saddha so important? Faith. All of you here, is it correct to say that you have faith in Buddha Dhamma Sangha? Is that correct? How many of you here said, don't have lah? Yeah lah, I got faith lah. I'm Buddhist ma. How many of you would say it like this? No lah. On a Sunday, risking COVID, coming to this place to learn his teaching, how can be no faith, right? Now, I want you to scan in, then you look at your mind. When you use the word faith, how does it make you feel? How many of you say, I feel good? Just thinking about faith makes me feel good. Up your hand. How many of you would say, I feel really good? Very joyous. I let you show win one. Sure win. I think you win or not? Win. Yeah, sure. So therefore, the mental state. You don't even know what faith is, not a lot. But that mental state of faith makes you feel good. Therefore, it's meritorious. Just that mental state. Why? Because this power, right, the power of faith, actually can help you avoid doing bad things. So you stand down there and do I scold? Then I'm a Buddhist. This morning just attended talk on practice. Don't scold. Restrain. Faith in itself can help restrain. Basically, you put a faith, it's like an amulet you put on the door. It's like an amulet, okay? You put on the door to ward off evil. Ward off your evil thoughts. Your evil action. Because of your faith, you say, Buddha will not allow. Buddha will scold. Stop. Then seriously, just say, Buddha will scold. You, next time you want to do something wrong, you ask yourself, will the Buddha be proud of you or be ashamed of you? Then it will hold you back. It will hold you back. Okay? You need all these kind of little gadgets to help, ma. Okay. Generosity. I told you earlier, generosity is not synonymous with giving. Okay? Generosity in itself means you are prepared to give up, to sacrifice your pleasure, your time, your energy for another. It requires sacrifice. If you say, I didn't have to do sacrifice, ma, I'm generous, I don't see it as a sacrifice. You don't see it, you're very generous. You see it, you're more generous. Why do I say it like this? If you don't care for the time, if you don't care for the time and you go serving, it is not a sacrifice. Because you got nothing better to do, ma. I got nothing better to do with my time, so I go and help, lor. But let's say you have things to do. And now you have to make that trade-off between what you want to do for yourself and what you will do for another, and you say, I will do it. That's generosity if you have no resentment. If you do and you grumble and you do and you grumble, so generous not, generous not, generous not. Your mind is doing a prata on you. Okay? You do, you just do. Don't think too much. So that's why we keep saying, don't think too much. The generosity come out, you just do. Don't think. Very often, and this is my advice to you, very often, thinking derails goodness. So, okay, let's say you want to do something. You want to go and pay respect to Buddha. And other people looking at me, better not. Thinking derails goodness. Only if it's the other way around. So you have a badness coming up. I'm going to scold the fella. There's a badness coming up. Thinking will now rein you back. Can now rein you back. I correct myself. Can now rein you back. Because you can reinforce it, right? I'm going to scold. Yeah, man, I must scold, man. Thinking is now reinforcing a badness. But if you say, don't scold, it's very bad. Buddha says, for non-action by speech, no harsh speech. Heck lah, forget it. Then it's good. So, when you want to do something good, the thinking can derail the effort. Example, I want to give donation to A. Yeah, but you know, accurate not? Are they going to take my money and use it unwisely? You talk so much. Guess what? Tomorrow then donate lor. Then tomorrow never come. So thinking is not necessarily a good thing, and it's very often when you want to do something good, it's going to derail it, okay? Wisdom. Wisdom requires an entire talk by itself. Really. So I will give you the shortest summary possible. Wisdom is how do you know when you are gaining in wisdom? You will know when the following starts to happen. So I will teach you to recognize your own wisdom. Okay? Number one, you will start to tell yourself, it's okay, moderation, contentment. Don't hanker, don't want too much. If you start to talk like this, it means there is wisdom growing in you. Number 2, you will say, don't everything you take for myself must be good for me, good for another, win-win for all. The second evidence that wisdom is growing in you. Okay? And your understanding of the Dhamma will increase, will definitely increase if you are Buddhist. If you are not a Buddhist, number 3 doesn't happen. But 1 and 2 can still happen. Moderation, seeking win-win, seeking a balance, that will still happen. You understand? So don't tell me only Buddhists are wise. No, not true. Some Buddhists not wise. Okay? It is not an identity. It is not an identity that is wise. It is what you tell yourself and what you hold to be good and real. So you say, win-win for all, moderation, contentment. Don't hold on to anger. Why are these wise? Why are these thoughts wise? Because when you hold these thoughts, you are giving yourself relief. You're making yourself happier. And you are giving others relief. You're not stirring problems. You are calming down water. Calming down water. Rages, fire. Any kind of thoughts and words that you tell yourself leading to a moderation, a calming of your greed and anger and delusion means wisdom is growing. That's how you tell. So you say, I don't have any of the above, then you're not wise lah. It's quite simple. So you remember the checklist, okay? Just remember the checklist. And if you are a Buddhist, and you tell me you're a practitioner, then the third one must apply. You begin to see the Dhamma teachings, the concepts starting to appear in your daily life. You have agitation, you say that's craving. You let go of that craving, no more agitation. I will live my life according to the Eightfold Path. Lovely, lovely. Buddha gave you A+. Do you understand? There is another sutta called Mahanama Sutta. Plus, learning means faith, morality, generosity, wisdom, and learning. In this particular sutta, he threw in learning. Why? Because Mahanama used to go to the Buddha and learn from him. So all of you sitting down here, learning the Dhamma, today, you have the mental state of learning. Today, you have the mental state of learning. Every time you turn on the YouTube and watch a Dhamma talk, at that moment, your mental state of learning has arisen. It is a good thing, okay? Every time you open a Dhamma book, watch a Dhamma cartoon, learning some Dhamma concepts, engaging in Dhamma talks, all this comes under learning, okay? Brahma Vihara, you see, we are all learning, right? We are all cultivating mental states. So that's why Brahma Vihara, I park it here. Because we are cultivating. So what is this Brahma Vihara? Brahma is the creator God, I think. Right? The notion of the higher of the devas, a higher being, very noble. Vihara means living. Like, they call it an airport, but it means living. Place where you stay. So if you have these 4 mental states, metta, karuna, mudita, upekkha, these are the 4 mental states. Friendliness, metta. Compassion, karuna. Altruistic joy is mudita. Equanimity is upekkha. Okay? If you have these 4 mental states in your mind at any one time, it means you are living like a Brahma. You are living like a divine being. that moment when you have these four mental states, your mind is elevated like a divine being. Very high end. Okay? In our Malay word, very atas. You are in an atas state. Okay? And these mental states can be cultivated. Okay? And many more. These are all mental states to be cultivated. So as a Buddhist, seeking to practice, you must cultivate humility, moderation, contentment, empathy, patience, gratitude. You name it. You name for yourself. And that's what you must cultivate. Because all these mental states do not come naturally to us. And cultivating these mental states, constantly bringing them up again and again and again, will make you a practicing Buddhist. Then you say, wow, Buddhist 做哪几功课嘞? It's very hard to be a Buddhist. That's why we say Buddhist practice. They say, worth it or not? Worth it. You tell me, now I'm asking you. You tell me. An individual who is kind, patient, doesn't throw funny words at you. When you are with them, they are very friendly, they are compassionate, and so on and so forth. They are humble, they are easygoing. You want to mingle with them or not? Do you want this person to be your friend? Or would you prefer the selfish one, the entitled one, the egoistic one, the one who is arrogant? You prefer that? No, right? Of course not. Please check online, got anybody say they like the awful one? Then what are you doing? When you are cultivating these mental states, you're becoming the person that the world likes. You will have friends. Your family will love you. You will, in this life, you will have the sense of love, being loved and loving another. It's a good life. A life where people will miss you when you move on, right? It's a good life. A life when you move on and the world say, heng. Very good, very good. Jialat, this is a really bad life. To die, to move on, right? You take on another life. And the world say, very good. It just shows how bad it is. People are relieved that you're gone. You see what I'm saying? So, it has immediate effects. But more importantly is, to do it like this, to cultivate all these mental states means you are you are creating the condition for happiness and joy in this life and in the next. It's a win-win. Okay? And the final one, purifying mind. Did you notice my little mind that's purified? It's turning steel. Okay? Okay. This one is rather unusual, and I'm introducing this for people who are really seeking that highest level of training. In all our minds, there are these mental states that affect you when you are trying to have it calm down, calming it down, stealing the mind, calming it down, okay? And these are the mental states: desire for sensual stimulation, having ill will, sloth and torpor, worry and restlessness, and doubt. These mental states, now they are not necessary, except for ill will. The others are not really evil, immoral. If you are tired and your mind is heavy, Is anybody going to say, you evil person? That's why it doesn't come under avoid evil, you see. It comes here, all the way here, into purifying of the mind. Desire for sensual stimulation, right? I know the Pali word is kama chanda. Chanda is a wish, kama is sensual delights. And what it means is, I watch shows, I listen to music, I like nice sound. I like external objects that please me. Eating, tasting, smelling, aromatics, essential oil, that kind lah, incense. All these in itself, that you wish for them, doesn't make you a bad person. Doesn't. But as long as your mind keeps going outside looking for stimulation that comes from outside, your mind will be distracted. So these hindrances has to do with meditation. If you are seeking to meditate and you want to be really good at meditation, there is a part in you that must learn not to constantly run out and play with the world. You must start to come into the mind. So if your mind is thinking about food, thinking about watching a show, going places to play, travel, and your traveling is to see, okay? If your mind is constantly running out to play, it is very hard for the mind to calm down. That's what it means. If your mind harbors resentment, disappointment, disillusion, some degree of worry and so on, right? If your mind has those disappointment, disillusion, resentment, regret, or all those kind of things, it comes under ill will. They're not bad. Being disappointed does not make you a bad person, right? So this ill will thing actually comes with that. If being disappointed means you don't feel good, ma. You don't feel good. You have that sense, right? That ill will. That comes under that. It comes under that. Okay? That idea. Then sloth and torpor means the mind is heavy. It is, you can say it's lazy, but is lazy a crime? Which crime says that? I mean, which penalty says that laziness is bad? Only the mother doesn't like it. The parents don't like it. But then it is not. Okay? And worry and restlessness, also not. Not a problem. I mean, not evil, but obstacle. Therefore, what it tells you is if your mind is pure, your mind doesn't get distracted by external stimulation. It is not in a mood, it is not in a state of regret and sadness and sighing and a bit of resentment. It doesn't have any of those things. A mind that is pure has none of these mental states. Any of these mental states present means your mind is shaken out of its purity. And this happens all the time. Okay, let me explain a little bit about doubt. Doubt. Some of you may say, are we doing it right? Is the Buddha teaching like that? Sure or not? The fellow know what she's saying or not? When your mind starts talking like that, this is vichikicha, this is doubt. Then there are people who will say, I know the Buddha's teaching, but very hard leh. I'm not ready. I think this life cannot. This life I cannot be enlightened. This life I cannot quite understand. This life I cannot practice. That's also doubt. That means you're doubting yourself. You're doubting yourself. You're doubting Buddha. Then you say, I didn't doubt Buddha. I only doubt myself. Buddha say you can, you say you cannot. So you think you're smarter than Buddha, lor? Actually, that's what it means. You never gave yourself a chance because you have judged yourself incompetent and you are ignoring the Buddha's teaching. When Buddha say anyone can, you say cannot. That's what it means. So this doubt is very powerful because it talks a lot. It is a reflection of your lack of confidence. No sadda, lacking confidence. It's a reflection of your own mind, holding on to its own views. Your mind making judgment, holding on to views. That's how powerful this doubt is. Okay? Purifying mind must involve the cultivation of wisdom. Moral skillfulness means I learn to tame lobha, dosa, moha, greed, anger, delusion. I achieve mental equilibrium, a present, a steadiness, peace, and tranquility. Samadhi means that. Samadhi means mental equilibrium, steadiness, peace, and tranquility. Samadhi, which has been translated typically as concentration, actually means all of those words. A mental state that has that steadiness, presentness, peace, and calm, tranquility. It means that, okay? Cultivating 37 factors of enlightenment, they are called enablers for the complete cessation of mental defilements. I will not go into this in detail, but many of you would have heard of this expression, 37 factors of enlightenment. They are all mental states. And all these, right? Self-service. Someone wants it to move faster. No, we will stay at 37 factors of enlightenment, right? So these 37 factors of enlightenment, they are mental states. You will see that there are repeats, but it's in different degree. And these mental states are critical for enabling you to experience cessation of dukkha, cessation of suffering, okay? We will not go into detail, we don't have time. Okay, now, this is exercise. My usual poll at the end of a talk. I want you all to look at the list and then you tell me which of these is an example of a Buddhist practice. Okay? All of you, look at it. Daily puja, offering flower, light, etc. at the shrine without chanting. Regular dana to a Buddhist center charity organization. Serving at SPCA or any secular charity. So, shall we go through the list? Okay? How many of you say daily puja is a Buddhist practice? Okay. Your thing, look at it carefully. It's a Buddhist practice. So, you put up your hand means you are saying this is one. Then if you didn't put up the hand at the end of the talk, then I'll ask you, why did you not put up your hand at all? Okay. So now, mindfulness, I'm scanning. Okay, I'm scanning. Okay, we start again. You all look at it, Let's review which of these is a Buddhist practice. Online, please check the response. Okay. Daily puja. Who say yes, it is a Buddhist practice? Right? Kakinai. Okay, very good. Who say offering flowers, light, etc. at the shrine without chanting is a Buddhist practice? Okay. Who say regular dana to a Buddhist center charity is a Buddhist practice? Who say? Regular dana. Hey, you're counted. I see, okay, I see. Okay. Serving at SPCA or any secular charity organization, who say that's a Buddhist practice? Okay, very good. How come you don't say anything, one? Okay, later then I ask you. Okay. Regularly attending talk, Dhamma talk. Buddhist practice or not? Lie. Okay, very good. Some more. Scoring top marks at the Buddhist examination. Is that a Buddhist practice? Okay. Regularly reading the sutta. Buddhist practice or not? Very good. Okay. Metta meditation. Okay, yeah. Observing 8 precepts on Buddhist holy day. Okay, right. And then finally, looking after parents and loved ones. Okay. Now, who said A to J? 10 of them. All 10. Who say all 10 are Buddhist practice? Who say all 10? Who say 9? 8? 7? None? Nobody? Nothing? Did you say anyone? Okay, which one? Looking after parents and loved ones. So you think that is the only one that's a Buddhist practice? Okay. Oh, sure. Oh, sure. Yes. Okay. Who else? Who else didn't rise? Put up the hand. So think. Why are they Buddhist practice and why are they not Buddhist practice? You say they are not. You think other faith will daily puja? Daily puja. Correct. Absolutely. Okay, very good. Yes. J is not Buddhist. Oh. Wow, okay. He connected the dot. What does the online, what do they say? What do they say? No comment. A lot? Uh-oh.
Okay. Hands up, some say all as long as we abide by the 8 noble truths. Some Eightfold Path, they put 8 noble truths. Some all above, all except F. Somebody said all except F. What is F? Okay. And then what else? The next one says all the above, yes. And then somebody, another person said all except F also. Okay. Well, yes.
Okay.
A few people said all except F.
Hey, I got F, okay?
And then,
okay, sorry. Yeah. Go on.
Yes. Most of them said, they just hands up lah.
Okay.
Hands up.
Now, the answer, all or none.
Yeah.
All or none. If you do it because your heart is correct, with understanding, you do them all with understanding. The key element here, which is not written here, is understanding. I do puja with understanding. I offer flowers and requisites and whatever with understanding. I am serving, doing the dana, I'm serving whatever. It is with understanding that this is generosity. I'm making that sacrifices. Everything that is wholesome is a practice with understanding. Everything that is wholesome but no understanding means it's just meritorious. Buddhist or not, doesn't matter. Do you understand? The understanding, I'm doing this because this is a cultivation necessary to turn my mind away from unwholesomeness. So I will stress again, a Buddhist practice, Buddhist. Don't use the word Buddhist as an identity. Use the word Buddhist to mean being a follower of Buddha. Following the Buddha means following the Dhamma. There is no, I follow Buddha, not Dhamma, not Sangha. There is no such thing. A Buddhist honors the Buddha, have faith in the Buddha, comply with the Dhamma, understands the Dhamma, respects the Sangha, is inspired by the Sangha. Sangha is a source of inspiration. And understanding must govern everything. Everything that you do, everything that you observe. That's why the Buddha can be extremely creative in how he taught his students. A traditional, conventional practice, he will hijack, made it a form of practice for his student. Like the guy who bows in 6 directions, mindlessly every day wash his hair. Ancient Indian hair very long. You wash hair means you are purifying yourself. So every day, every morning, 6 o'clock, he goes to the crossroad and bow in 6 directions. Buddha hijacked it and talk about honoring relationship represented by 6 directions. So his teaching for that young man, the teaching now becomes Buddhist. Because you are doing it in compliance with what he taught. Buddhist means you are doing it in accordance with what he taught, and you do it with understanding. Okay? Final slide. We must all, in our practice, rise above the regular, average, standard quality mind. Our regular mind is often caught up, unwisely caught up, with pleasures and pain. Then you say, got people caught up in pain? Yes. When your leg pain, right, your mind is there all the time, sitting right next to the pain going, aiyo, yeah, caught up in pain, ma. Then you cannot stop talking about your pain. Everybody who come visit you, let me tell you about how much I suffer. Sure, at some point nobody is visiting because they already had the repeat broadcast many times, okay? Constantly we give in to our compulsions, our habits. And very often when you give in, you cause pain for yourself and for another. So in that one sentence, I summarize our practice, our teaching, purpose of our practice, okay? We seek to cultivate wholesome mental qualities so that the mind becomes balanced and peaceful. A Buddhist, a wise Buddhist, will live happily. If you're very unhappy, it means your cultivation, your practice is very much incomplete. Maybe you are stuck at avoid evil. If you are stuck at avoid evil, it is very easy for you to be unhappy. Very, very easy. You must move on to do good. Be proactive. Do good. Do you understand? If you are stuck at avoid evil, what are you observing? 5 precepts. Seriously? That's all? Yeah, 5 precepts. Very good already. Buddha said must have 5. I got all 5. What else you want from me? The do good part, What's that? Finish. Your practice is 1/3. Think of it like this, 1/3. Actually not 1/3, 1/2 of 1/3. How much is that? 1/6. Very good, 1/2 of 1/3. Why 1/2? You remember that part has 2 parts, right? There is the 5 precepts, then there's the 10 akusala. The 10, 3 by action, 4 by speech, 3 by mind. How many you have? 1/3. 1/2 of 1/3. How to be happy? A truly happy person, truly happy, must complete the whole thing. Do good, avoid evil, do good, purify mind, you're the happiest. But if you only stuck at do good, never mind, very good, you will be happy. Not supremely, but good enough. For sure. For sure. Otherwise, money back. It's a money back guarantee. Don't worry, I pay. It's a money back guarantee. Do you understand what I'm saying? It is like that. It is like that. It is just like that. The Dhamma is not difficult. It is profound. The Dhamma is very profound, but it is not difficult. The difficult part is application. Understanding is not difficult. Ask you don't scold people when your anger is rising. That's difficult. Understanding that that's bad for you is not difficult. Do you see what I'm saying? Okay, right. I think we'll take question first, and then we will do the rest, okay?
Sorry, I just want to ask, what if we accidentally kill an ant? It's just like, when we're typing the thing, then we shout, the ant just, is that killing?
You don't have to be defensive.
Sorry.
You feel sorry, then you transfer merit, lor. No, but seriously, when something is done accidentally, that in itself is not karmic. There's no staining of the mind. There's no karma. If it's done accidentally, okay? That's not your main concern, No, I always have this question. People will ask about, if I do something like this, I drive the car, then I knock over the cat, then how? That's not the problem. Our problem is not the accidental killing. It's not, because first and foremost, you hardly ever accidentally kill something. It's hardly ever. Then if you don't drive a car, you won't kill that cat. The problem is day on day, day to day, we will say something that is not nice and you hurt someone. Or we may do something that is not nice and it disturbs another. That's the one. Our problem is not the big kill, not the big K, it's the small K. The small K means that when you damage a person's heart, you damage the person's mind, that kind. That kind of killing, we have to stop. That one. Okay? And remember, focus on the wholesome mental states. We don't do that enough. My observation about the typical practitioner, right, the typical person, is we don't focus on cultivating the correct mental states. Now, what are they? I can almost guarantee, right, half the time you're saying, we must not do this, we must not say that. What about the we must? We must be wholesome. We must be full of confidence in the teaching. We must be contented and exercise moderation. We must be kind and patient. We must have humility, graciousness, friendliness. These are the mental states you want. So as you walk across the road, right, you surely cannot be saying, don't kill, don't kill, don't kill, don't kill. But you can say, may all be well and happy. May all be well and happy. The mind must be that softness, that gentleness, the kindness. That one. Can you bring it up all the time. That's the challenge, okay?
Thank you for the talk. My question is it easier to practice when one is like suffering badly, or is it easier to practice when one is having a very good time in life?
When there is suffering, there is incentive to practice. It's not easier or harder. When there is suffering, there is incentive to practice. When one is having a good time, one tends to postpone that practice. Because practice always requires sacrifice. Why is it sacrifice? You're sacrificing your attachment to anger. You're sacrificing your attachment to craving. That's your sacrifice. So typically when there is suffering, then there is enough motivation to fix this, I'm suffering, there is pain, I want to fix this. And that's why you will make sacrifices, because it's between the rock and the hard place, ma. That's why you make the sacrifices. But if you're asking me, but what is better at practice, you'll be surprised, huh? The more conducive conditions for practice is actually when you are not suffering. When you're having a really jolly good time. That's when the conditions for practice are ideal. Where got people got time to practice if you're running for your life? Now that's really suffering. You have time to practice because you're living in Singapore. It is a very safe environment. Even if you want to sit in the park and meditate, you know COVID won't get you, as long as you mask up. You know that if you have money in your bank account, enough to look after you and your family, you don't have to worry about earning a living. So that's ideal condition, right? Ideal condition is you don't have to worry about earning a living, and therefore you have to work overtime all the time. You don't have to worry about running for your life. You don't worry about food. You are feeling really good. You have a very comfortable air-conditioned room to meditate. And your family are supportive. Can you see? These are really the conditions conducive for practice. But unfortunately, when people are having a jolly good time, they don't see incentive to practice. They don't feel motivated. Jialat lor. So typically, someone starts when they encounter dukkha, pain. Typically, someone will start, whether there's feeling an emptiness in the heart, or having lost someone they love, or being very dissatisfied with life and life condition. Then you keep asking yourself, why is life like that? What is the meaning of life? Hanu. Then you could practice. Maybe the answer can be found before the Buddha. Then you go practice. Unfortunately, it's like that. Okay?
Any more from the floor? No? Okay. I shall read those online. Is forwarding fake news a sort of wrong view?
Sorry?
Forwarding fake news.
That you choose to forward means that news tickles some akusala aspect in your mind, right? So you are sharing your akusala. The fake news in itself is not the problem. It is not a lie because you didn't know it's fake. Just remember this. If you forward a piece of news which got you upset, got you very self-righteous, when you forward that, you are sharing your akusala, your unwholesomeness, your anger, your frustration, your irritation, your agitation. You want to do that? Then you are perpetuating anger, lor. So that's what you're doing. Okay, so I'm not talking about the fake, because if you don't know, it's not a fake. You're not lying. If you know, then you say, yeah, but this is a good man. Then yes, you are now lying. Okay?
Another question. Avoid evil on covetousness. If a government asks Company A to sell majority stakes of over 51% to Company B or not get closed down. Is this an example of covetousness or taking the not given? Thank you for your Dharma sharing.
Covetousness, all the mental states teaching pertain to your own mind. I want to stress this. You don't learn Dhamma, then take it like a club and club everyone else. This is not your job. Our job, as we look out for number one, okay? I will always call myself, ourselves number one. So all the number one, okay? We are all number one. Our job is to look after number one in such a way that number one doesn't cause trouble for the next number one. And instead, we will raise the water level of goodness in society. That's your job. Your job is not to learn Dhamma and take Dhamma and go club other people. You are covetous, you know. Covetous. You're covetous, you know. You got ill will, eh? Where's your faith? Where your faith? You cannot do that, okay? That's not our job. Cannot. You cannot, because when you do that, when we become judging, I've written some short booklet, and they're online, so you can go look for them, okay? And you can go to this Dawning of Dhamma website, where my good friends have all posted a few of these books on faith, Saddha, on Sila. So today's talk, you can find it in that booklet on morality. So faith, morality, learning, they're all online, okay? If you can't find that site, never mind, just type Sylvia Bay and that book, faith or morality, and they will come up. And this is what I wrote in morality. I said, the Dhamma is really for self-regulation. Self-regulation. You cannot be self-righteous. A Buddhist cannot be self-righteous. Self-righteous means you have a set of rules that you feel is correct. Then you go and apply on other people. Then what happens is your own mind become unwholesome. When you're standing down there judging others, right, your own mind actually becomes unwholesome. Any form of judging is unwholesome. Then you say, hey, but if I judge it correctly, meaning I judge them to be good, that's not judging, that's empathizing, that's rejoicing. Hey, what a wonderful fellow is, 这样对了. That's judging. Okay? You don't like to be judged, you cannot judge another. We try not to. I know we all got very bad minds. So sometimes it will pop out and say, why you like that? Pop out. Then you quickly reel back lah. Reel back. You can't stop your mind from thinking. You can stop the mouth from talking. Do you understand? Okay, next.
Apart from purifying our mind, don't we have to purify our speech, thoughts, and actions in an undefiled and unwholesome manner? Metta.
When it is true, but when you can purify the mind, the rest follows.
Thank you. A white lie is considered false speech. Is not saying anything that is keeping quiet about what one knows considered false speech?
No, you keeping quiet, not saying anything is not false speech. You got no words, ma? The whole idea about false speech is to mislead. You know something to be wrong, but you want him to think otherwise. Then there is false speech. You say something that deliberately mislead is false speech. Okay?
Before my last question, anyone else on the floor have more questions? No? Okay. What makes Buddhist right view so special compared to other religious religion preaching purification as well.
I will not comment on comparison. There's nothing special. There is nothing special in the Buddhist right speech.
No, right view.
There's nothing special in a right view. Per se, it's not a Buddhist thing. It is views that hurt or views that don't. Okay, it's nothing to do with, yes, the Buddha taught this, and so from that angle, we attribute it to his teaching. But it is not that we are special. It is that these are views that can hurt yourself and hurt others. I keep stressing that. Any views that hurt yourself and hurt others, those views are wrong. Any views that will promote general well-being, harmony, goodness, the water level of society's goodness rises. That's my point. You are a student of the Buddha. You must honor that part of the teaching. You don't come tell me I know Four Noble Truths, Eightfold Path, I pass exam, I score great grades. I am so clever, I am so good, my Dhamma is so great. Let me show you Paticca Samuppada. Backward, forward in Pali. What's the point if all of this does not translate into kind speech, kind action, good action, and you being a worthy ambassador of his teaching? Meaning other people look at you and say, I may not agree with what you're teaching, I may not agree with you being a Buddhist, but I respect you. And I am happy to just sit back and enjoy his Dhamma. That's the point. That's what we must do. We have to be good people, upright people, that anybody can respect, regardless of your faith or your religion or your ethnicity. You must be someone that the world, the average person, can look up to and respect. This is where we are coming from. Huh?
Will you take two last questions that just came in?
Well, they try so hard, right? Yes, we will.
Okay. What if you don't judge others, but others judge you? Take what you have to give, and in return make it difficult for you to remain in the community. Is it okay to feel tired and to leave?
Yes, absolutely okay to feel tired and to leave. That you have disappointment is natural. That you decide to move on is wise. Do not stay in a toxic environment. Our practice says you don't repay anger with anger because it wouldn't work. When someone is not nice to you and you're not nice back, then next round, not nice, luggy, not nice, and super not nice, and seriously, when is this going to end? You see, if you can walk away and you don't care, meaning to say, someone's nasty to you and you really don't care, then so be it. You are blessed with a careless demeanor. But most of us do care. Most of us do care that there is all this animosity. Then why put yourself in an environment with that animosity? I always go back. It's the first. You look at this Mangala Sutta, right? Mangala Sutta has all these blessings. Can you imagine the very first one he tells you? Asevanacha balanang. Do not associate with the fool, associate only with the wise. That's the first. And that's the one everybody will remember. Why is that so important? Actually, it tells you we must choose wisely whom we want to associate with and where we want to park our time. Having the wisdom to move away when things are not good, not wise, not helpful, very toxic. Having that wisdom to move off is a blessing. And that's number one on a list of blessings. How much more important is that? Okay?
Okay, last question. If we are told to under-declare the taxes by boss, will that affect our karma?
Yes, because that is definitely, you break precept number 2, you break precept number 4. When the government finds out, you had it. Your boss wants to do whatever he wants to do, invite him to do it himself. Okay?
Thank you, Sis Sylvia.
Okay.
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
And it's a reminder to everyone. Can you put it on again? Move, 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 move. Magic. Ta-da! I got psychic power, you know. In gratitude, honor our teacher by being wholesome and giving. Donate, help, support a worthy charity or spiritual organization. This is dana. This is being chaga. A reminder, we must never take for granted the blessings that we are enjoying in this life. As our forerunners had done right by us, we must continue the good work for those who come after. This part is very important. Our life will end. This life will end. We must continue to do good so that we will return to the Dhamma. You want to keep returning to the Dhamma until Nibbana. We don't want to miss that step. May the Dhamma last long so that when we come back, it's still there. May we continue to enjoy supportive conditions for learning and practice, and may we never deviate from the Dhamma as long as life lasts. I do believe that many of us online and on-site are very joyous, so you are filled with merits. Today, we are sharing merits in memory of 3 people, uncles and aunties, who have moved on, and their children have asked our Buddhist community to please remember them and share merits. Okay, we're inviting them to come partake. So this is Madam Sim Mui Jin. Is that how you pronounce? Sim Mui Jin. Passed on a couple of days ago. This is Madam Lim Tan Lim Atan Bit Joy. Passed on a couple of weeks back. Yeah? And this is Mr. Jiam Tao Ming. And passed on also a couple of weeks back. May they all be well and happy wherever they have a reason. May they continue to stay in the Dhamma and continue this meritorious journey.
Thank you, Sis Sylvia. We will do our closing. Dedication of merits. Let us invite all sentient beings to participate in our acquired merits. Ettavata cha amhehi sambatang punya sampadang sabbe deva anumodantu sabba sampati siddhya. Ettavata cha amhehi sambatang punya sampadang sabbe bhuta anumodantu sabba sampati siddhya. Ettavata cha amhehi sambatang punya sampadang sabbe satta anumodantu sabba sampati siddhya. Let us dedicate the merits of participating in this wholesome Dhamma activity to our departed relatives and friends. Idang me nyati nang hotu sukhita hontu nyatayo. Idang me nyati nang hotu sukhita hontu nyatayo. Idang me nyati nang hotu sukhita hontu nyatayo. End of service dedication. I dedicate the merits which I have accumulated to the cultivation of my mind in order to bring happiness and benefits to all sentient beings. I dedicate the merits to my parents, children, spouse, relatives and friends, colleagues and my adversaries, wishing them long life, good health, happiness and prosperity. May we never part from the Triple Gem, and may we always walk the path towards enlightenment. Closing homage, let us pay respects to the Triple Gem. Arahang Sama Sambuddho Bhagava Buddhang Bhagavantang Abhivademi. Swakato Bhagavata Dhammo Dhammang Namasami. Supatipano Bhagavato Sāvaka Sangho Sanghang Namami. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Thank you, brothers and sisters, for joining us today.